Hey, can everybody see me? Are we on? All right, my screen was
Hey,
there we go. Okay.
everybody
All
see
right.
me?
Um I'll tell you what. Thank you all.
Are we on?
Appreciate it so much.
My screen was
It's been a struggle
there
here.
we
It
go.
really
Oh,
has.
okay. All right.
um yeah. So this is the first
I'll tell you
time,
what. Thank
Tony,
you all.
woohoo indeed.
Appreciate it
The
so
first
much.
time that I
It's
think
been
we've actually got
it's
on at
been a
7 o'clock
struggle here.
like we
It
were
really
supposed
has.
to. Now, we still haven't gotten it right
Yeah.
because the
So this
original
is the
link that I
first time,
shared,
Tony.
I
Woohoo!
burned that one.
Indeed.
And
The
a
first
couple
time that I
people,
think we've
Christy
actually got
was
on at
one of
seven
them,
o'clock like we were supposed to.
and a
Now
couple
we
other
still haven't gotten it
people.
right
But
because the
I didn't even
original
know I
link
was
that I
live.
shared,
And I was trying to
I
figure out the
burned that
thing.
one.
There's this software
And
called
a
OBS
couple
that you're
people,
supposed to
Christy
use. And,
was one
you
of
know,
them,
long story short,
and a
I
couple
didn't
other
think it was working.
people.
And
But
I know I
didn't even
cursed
know I
at
was
least one
live,
time
and I was trying to figure
out
out
of
the
frustration. So for
software
those of you
that
that were
I
on
was
super early,
supposed to use.
apologies. And
Long story short,
I
didn't
do
know
have a
it was
little
working,
echo here that I'm
and
dealing
I know
with,
I
and
cursed
I'm gonna
at
have to
least
talk
one
with
time,
Derek about
out
that
of
on
frustration.
island
So for
time
those of you that were on
and
super
how to get
early,
rid of that.
I
But
apologize. And
yeah, Michelle,
I do have a
I'm
little
hearing
echo
that
here that I'm
same
dealing
thing.
with, and I'm gonna have to talk with
And
Derek
you know what? I
about that
wonder
on island time.
if I can turn
How
my
to get rid of
volume
that,
down.
but
Okay. Can you tell me if you're not hearing an echo now? Hopefully you're not hearing an echo now. I turned down the volume on my YouTube feed. Well, the volume's all the way. Let me see. Hold on a second. The volume. Okay, the volume is off on my YouTube feed. Okay. All right, cool. All right. Lido, Michelle, appreciate it. There you see
Oh,
Anita. And I think she's going to have to get used to this lag. There's this lag from the real camera, so she's seeing herself after. So just
slow mo.
talk to the green dot there. This is our live feed on the
okay.
side. And yeah, so we're figuring this out. So, bear with us here. We have
Hey.
two different feeds going on at one time, and there's a delay. And I know you've heard, those of you that have tuned into Island Time, you hear Derek talking about all the time. As a matter of fact, there he is. Good evening, Derek. We see Rachel is here. Rachel just said hi to
Rachel.
Anita. Michelle, okay, good. No echo, good. Tony G, he was another one that was on earlier when probably caught me cursing because I thought I screwed up the whole thing again. Yeah, Derek, it definitely, the lag is a little tricky. So for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, the YouTube feed that we can see the comments on and everything else like that, there's like probably a 8-second delay or something between the actual live feed and the YouTube feed. So we see ourselves on screen from like the past, and we're trying to talk and be normal now, and the video screen throws you off a little bit.
Wait.
Tony says the cursing was fun.
Yeah, I had lots of that.
I
Holy moly.
I do more of that than I should, honestly. So,
Hi, guys.
I appreciate that,
everybody.
Tony. And I did delete those videos, so you were the one of the few that will see that cursing. I wasn't proud of that. I was
And
a
I
little
got to
bit
hear it.
embarrassed. All right, so they must have gave Amanda her back massage so we could watch. All right. Let's see. Yes. I love seeing a lot of the familiar names, and Mike Lido, he was giving me a little pep talk here before we came on, and several of you have. I mean, Charles has, Derek has, many of you have said, hey, hang in there, stick with it. Christy did earlier. Well, everybody that was on earlier did. Tony did, Tim has. So, I just really appreciate you sticking with us here. And Yeah, we're gonna eventually get it to where it's smooth, and we start and the original link works, and we're not making extra links and things like that. So I actually was speaking with Lido Tito, Micah Bear there. Um, we were talking about movies because Charles and Rachel, who are both online right now, they had a date night a couple days ago, and they were going to see the new Top Gun movie, which is like, breaking the records in the movie box office again. So that's the more normalcy that we have. And Lido Tito was saying how Top Gun is like his favorite movie of all time, and I was like, wow, okay. So I got to thinking, I'm like, it would be a good topic, and all the cruise lines have a big screen up top. Obviously, well, for those of you that know me and follow my channel or whatever, that Carnival is the brand that we're most loyal to. So they have the dive-in, dive-in movies in the evening. And so I got on the discussion with Lido Tito, and we were talking about movies, and we said, okay, so here's the question, and I'm really curious, and we got 4 parts to this question. The first one is going to be comedy. Okay, we're not just going to say any movie, but we're going to go comedy. So you are in charge of the dive-in movie theater on whatever ship you're on. So you get to pick the comedy that everybody watches that evening. All right. So what movie are we watching at the dive-in theater at the top of the ship one evening? What comedy? Let's start with comedy first. If you are in charge of, and leave comedy holiday movies out, because that's a separate one that I have. So leave holiday movies out, but a comedy that you would go with. No, it doesn't have to be child friendly, because it's late in the evening, right? We'll say it's 11 p.m. showing, even though we know there's kids running around like little packs of wolves. We'll say it doesn't have to be child friendly. Let's go with the 11 p.m. start time, so you can get the rated R comedy in there. Anybody? In the Heights. Okay, just kidding.
Oh.
All right. And speaking of Top Gun, Lido, you'll be pleased to know that we watched that last night on Netflix.
It's my first time seeing it.
And she really enjoyed it. She was into it. Had to pause it, when she had to go out
Ted.
the kitchen.
Totally Ted.
Oh, yeah. Ted's
yeah.
a good one. Ted is a good one.
Yeah,
that is hilarious. Police Academy, also going to Grown Ups is a good one. Yeah, I like all those. Talladega Nights, Ricky Bob, that was just on TV a couple days ago. I was watching that. If you're not first, you're last. Remember that, Christy. If you're not first, you're last. Happy Gilmore, another good one. Okay. All right. Yeah, so that's a good start there. That's a real good start. Anybody else want to chime in before we...
Adam Sandler.
Super
awesome.
Bad. All right.
Oh, hell yeah.
I like that, Andrew. Definitely. The little stain on what's his name's pants was quite comical. Zombieland. Okay. All right, good. Hey, we're getting into it now. We got Borat. All right, very nice. All right, so we got a nice little catalog of comedies for the dive-in movies. Okay, so now here we go to this one, and I'm gonna throw mine in on here. But action movies. We should have quite a few on this one. I mean, there are some great action movies. I guess Top Gun would kind of be like action drama. Would Top Gun kind of fill two cups? But let's go action now. What are we going to for dive-in movies for action? You were in charge of the Lido deck. Fast and Furious Marathon. Okay, Charles. All right. Well, there's like 11 of them, so I don't think we're sleeping if we're doing a marathon. We're that's gonna be an all-nighter. Any Mission Impossible.
Hards,
Tom
yeah.
Cruise again.
Die
And
Hards, yeah.
they were talking about that on the radio today. How Tom Cruise still blows up the box office like any movie he does. And you got to admit that guy is talented, and most of his movies are, I mean, they're at least entertaining. Like all the Die Hards, yes, and Michelle,
Indiana Jones.
yeah, for sure.
Still watching to this day.
Yeah, it's so sad what happened to Bruce Willis and what health, that he's going through now. Somebody that brought that much joy to people through his movies and stuff. Remo Williams, I'm not familiar with that one. Charles, I'll have to look that up. Indiana Jones, certainly, yes. I mean, I saw that with my dad, actually. He took me to that the first Indiana Jones, and yeah, that was amazing. Nobody has picked mine yet. I'm surprised. And I taught a class, it was called Film Studies, and there's actually been multiple books written on mine. And there's only 8. Okay. I'm sorry.
There's
I
it
thought
is.
there were
Jason
9.
Bourne.
Jason Bourne movies,
Oh,
yes.
Lord.
That's definitely. That's a trilogy. Yeah. That's way up there for me. Nobody's picked mine. I'm going to give it to you all. Let's see. Inception. That's another great one. Very good. Very good. Like it. Jurassic Park movies. And there's a new Jurassic Park coming out, too. Do you know when that comes out, Rachel? The new one? That's supposed to be coming out anytime. Avengers. Okay. All right. John Wick's definitely good. Definitely good. Okay. So my favorite movie, action movie at least, and because of all the symbolism, everything else, the original Matrix, not like part 2, part 3, everything else like that, but the original Matrix. There's a lot of biblical references in there that a lot of people don't know about and things like that. But yeah, it's that's my number one go-to or whatever. And then this, let's go on to drama. June 10th. Drama. Christy, are you saying yes for Matrix or John Wick or
Just yes.
Jack Ryan's good? Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, so drama. What do we have for drama? And I have one that's a little action, little drama that I'm going to throw in there. Matt Damon is in it. It's not a, Bourne, because that's definitely an action. But there was a Matt Damon movie I really, really like that's more drama but has a little bit of action, but definitely I would say fits in the drama category more than anything else. So dramas. What do we have for the Lido deck for dramas? June 9th. Okay, Rachel, thank you. Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah, That's a tearjerker. But that is definitely a drama that, heartfelt one. Da Vinci Code trilogy. Yeah, that's like a
love
action
Da Vinci.
drama. Yeah.
Tom Hanks. Nice.
How about here's kind of like a scary drama. But anybody remember the Cape Fear with Robert De Niro?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the one that, that I'm picking as like my top. Wall Street, Downtown Abbey, okay. Titanic, all right, yeah, very fitting for the cruise ships. Yeah, let's show the Titanic on the dive-in movies. I don't think that I'm curious about that. That's I wonder if they've shown Titanic at the dive-in theaters, on a cruise ship. Would they do that? Like, honestly, would they do that? Because of the ship sinking and everything. I'm curious. Has anybody ever seen that's been on cruise ships long enough for when Titanic came out, if they have actually shown Titanic on the I don't think they would probably do that, would they? But that's hilarious. I know people joke about when they play like the music of Titanic within the ship, and some people get a little freaked out about that. Tony, I agree. I might make a point to watch Titanic on a ship just to say, hey, but I mean, it is a long movie, so I don't know if I'm gonna be skipping comedy or the casino to watch it. But yeah, I would definitely go up
He's
there
not
just to
watching,
say
I'll
I
try to.
watched it up
He's
there.
hanging out with you all.
Okay, so here's my drama. Matt
Godfather.
Damon.
Yeah.
The Matt Damon. What's the one where he's trapped on Mars? What's the? God, how did I forget the?
I
the
know.
title?
You've seen it like how many times?
What's
What's
the?
the-
What's the Matt Damon one where he's stranded on Mars?
The Martian.
The Martian. That's it. Yeah. How about anybody see The Martian or not see The Martian? Because if you haven't seen The Martian, that's a movie you got to see. That's a really good one. That's more drama than anything else. But curious to see if any of you have seen The Martian with Matt Damon. I would say Matt Damon. Yes, Tony. There it is. Yep, Lido. Yep. Okay, now everybody's popping in with the Martian there. Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. And you know what? It just made me think of, since we're on the topic of movies, let's stick with it. But before we do that, I got one more genre that I want to go to, because I've got a couple for this category. I've got a Thanksgiving one and I've got a Christmas one for sure. But holiday movies. And then here's the great debate, is Die Hard a holiday movie? So if you think it's a holiday movie, go ahead and throw it in there, if that's one of your favorite movies. But Charles, if you have not seen The Martian, definitely watch that movie, and you'll be glad you did. Great movie. Home Alone, classic. I see that, Lido. See what else we got up here. Home Alone for the win. All right. Well, especially with kiddos at home, surviving Christmas. My mind's a little more warped when it comes to holiday movies, and you'll understand what I mean by that. Home Alone. Oh, yeah. Chevy Chase, National Lampoons, all those. I like all those, Tony. Die Hard is a holiday movie. Okay, so we've settled the debate. Home Alone, followed by National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Absolutely, Christmas Vacation. You can't beat it. A Christmas Carol, Christmas with the Cranks. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm surprised that one was mentioned there, Charles. I actually like that movie, yeah. National Lampoon Christmas, Christmas with the Cranks. Oh, we got a few Christmas with the Cranks. Okay, very good. We got that movie upstairs. I didn't know so many people liked it, but well, good. Little Drummer Boy, Santa Claus, Christmas with the Cranks. No Christmas Stories. I'm surprised there's not a few You'll Shoot Your Eyes Out in there. Christmas. Is that the scary one, Tony? Trading Places. Oh, now we're really drawing the line on holiday movies. Oh, really? Okay. Carnival Cruise was featured. All right, let me give you my two, and you'll understand how my mind is fried. So, and I can't believe this one wasn't mentioned, honestly. The first one I'm going to mention anyway. How did nobody mention Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? How did nobody mention that for a holiday music or holiday movie? Nobody mentioned Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I mean, that is like a classic. You got Steve Martin and John Candy. I mean, those two are like perfect together. Oh yeah, Christmas Story, yeah, fudge.
Yeah.
But how did nobody get Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Burnt Toast. All right, there's Jenna.
Still
It's
burnt,
a Wonderful
still
Life.
burnt.
Yep, that's probably the classic of them all.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah. So nobody is okay. So let's rewind here to Thanksgiving. I mean, everybody's thinking Christmas, but go to Thanksgiving. Is there a better Thanksgiving movie than Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? I'm just curious. Does anybody? I mean, that is like the best Thanksgiving movie. I mean, you're laughing through the whole thing, and at the very end, you got just a little, tear jerk, but it's a good tear jerk. But yeah, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for me, definitely one of my all-time favorites. I mean, I know it's an older movie now, but I love that. Okay, and then my warped holiday movie.
Never heard of it.
Tim,
Oh,
you never heard of it? Oh my goodness!
You know what?
It's got Steve Martin, John Candy. I mean, you could watch it now and you would love it. I mean, I know it's not anywhere near Thanksgiving, but Tim, I promise you, if you
Never heard
watch
of it.
Planes, Trains, and
Wow.
Automobiles, you will laugh hysterically and you will love it. I promise you'll love it. Okay, so Bad Santa.
Oh, so pretty.
Bad Santa. That's
Thanksgiving didn't
I like Bad Santa. That is definitely one of my favorite funny Christmas movies, and I know it's pretty crass and all that, but yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite funny movies. Caddyshack for a comedy for sure. That getting back to comedies. Okay, and then so, and we had mentioned Tom Cruise earlier. You know how popular he is and everything. Speaking of Tom Cruise and Top Gun, since Lito Tito is on here, and this is his favorite movie, So, Lito, I wanted to ask you, Maverick or Iceman? Maverick or Iceman? Who we going with here? Which pilot are you going with? Maverick or Iceman? Curious to see what Lito Tito says about that, since that's his favorite movie. But while we're waiting on that, let's get to favorite. Oh, Mav all day. All right, like it. And Goose. Poor Goose. Anita cried during that part. I had to, console her when Goose bit it. Charles, we have a conflict here. And you two are cruising together soon, so Iceman against Mav. So you guys will have to arm wrestle or something. All right. Well, we got an inner house conflict. We have Iceman and Maverick. Okay. So this wasn't planned here, but we got Maverick winning. It looks like he's winning. But best actor, best male actor. I got to go with Matt Damon. I love the Bourne series, The Martian I mentioned, but for my money right now, I'd have to go with Matt Damon. Female actresses, I'd have to think about, but I'm pretty confident with Matt Damon. Anybody else have a favorite actor or actress that, if there's just any movie you're watching them just because you think it's going to be good because that actor or actress is in it? Curious to see if anybody's got any locked in favorites. Tom Hanks, excellent. Yep. Tom Hanks rarely puts out a bad movie, and he has so many different roles. Harrison Ford, excellent. I agree with those two for sure. Especially Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones.
Shamar Moore. That's the yeah.
Oh, speaking of, you know what? I just thought of another comedy I like. I know we're off the topic now, but Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber was my kind of funny. Keanu Reeves, yeah. The Matrix is my favorite movie of all time. I don't think Keanu Reeves gets as much credit for his acting, but Al Pacino, I like that. Denzel Washington, yes. Haven't heard as much from him lately, but yeah, when he was in his heyday making movies, for sure, Denzel Washington was all over it.
And Clint is classic. Clint Eastwood is classic.
For sure. Okay.
Long standing.
Well, I don't know how many people here. Let's see. We got. I don't know. Showing the people there online. Anita's telling me.
Don't touch anything. Okay.
He's probably rightfully so. Don't touch anything. So what was I about to say? Oh yeah. So I had mentioned I'd shared this on a couple pages. The Mardi Gras. So Anita and I are going to be on the Mardi Gras July 2nd through the 9th, but I'm actually going to be on there a week before her with a buddy of mine that I'd worked with previously, a gentleman by the name of Claudio. And so I was talking, now I know Funnelheads was on here earlier. I don't know if he's still on here or not, Andrew. But he's been on the Mardi Gras like a ton. I know Lito, Tito, and Michelle have both been on the Mardi Gras. And I don't know who else on here has been on the Mardi Gras, but if you have, chime in if you've been on the Mardi Gras. And the question I had about the Mardi Gras, what am I going to like about, what are we going to like about the Mardi Gras more than any other carnival ship that we've been on? And what might we like less, if there's even anything? Okay, we're gonna like Shaq's Chicken more, and I've heard that. Oh, you retracted that. But I mean, is there just, something that like the Mardi Gras brings that no other carnival ship brings, that we're gonna go on there and be like, okay, this is a game changer for Carnival, and you can't get this on any other carnival ship, and this is something that you're just gonna absolutely love. I mean, outside of like the roller coaster, because I mean, that's cool, but that's a little bit, of a, I don't want to say a gimmick, but because it's cool, but you know what I'm talking about. Fortune Teller Bar, yes, I'm looking forward to trying out that Fortune Teller Bar. That looks really, really good. Shaq's and Fortune Teller, okay. So Michelle and Mike agree both on that. All the different food options, Kathy. Okay, appreciate that. Funnelheads, you'll like Fortune Teller and Brass Magnolia. Yeah, you don't hear as much about Brass Magnolia. Now, what did Brass Magnolia do? I mean, what type of specialty drinks? Because Fortune Teller, you always see the crystal ball thing, and you always see the crazy drinks and stuff that they're making when I'm watching the videos. But I have heard a lot of people say they really like the Brass Magnolia. For those who've been on the Mardi Gras, what about the Brass Magnolia is different? Like, what different drinks are they making that, like, okay, coach, you got to go there and you got to drink this. If you're sending me to the Brass Magnolia, what do I got to drink that's just, like, amazing at the Brass Magnolia, or that we're going to the Brass Magnolia for? Because the bar is beautiful. The bar is absolutely beautiful, but I don't hear as many people talking about it. Lido Main Pool, less around Red Frog Tiki Bar because it's packed. Okay, you know what, Kathy? Because Kathy says I was disappointed in the show venue areas. They're just too small for the number of people. You know what? In a lot of the videos that I've been watching, because I do it all the time, I did hear people complaining that they didn't figure that out. I heard the shows were amazing and they'd stepped it up show-wise, but that if you wanted to go to a show, and Kathy and anybody else that's been there, Michelle, Mike, anybody else, Funnelheads obviously, that you had to get there like an hour early. I mean, is that true, to be able to get on and see a show like that you want to see? And then I think Andrew had mentioned a couple shows that I have to go see, but also in comments, for those of you that already been on the Mardi Gras, what would you say are like the show or shows that you just have to see? Like, if you don't go see this show, you have failed the Mardi Gras, and you messed up big time. At least an hour. Okay. Coach, you must check out the Veterans Memorial area near the Pig and Acre. Oh yeah, I will definitely do that, Michelle. And as a matter of fact, I will be going in there a lot, because one of the best things that Carnival ever did is when they brought that Guy's Pig and Anchor, and they make those amazing Bloody Marys, the best Bloody Mary at sea at Guy's Pig and Anchor. So about 11 a.m. every day, maybe noon, I'll be having one of those Bloody Marys for sure, because I got the Cheers package on both. The theater's bad stadium seating. Yes, that's true. Arrive about 45 minutes early to the popular shows. What are the popular shows? All right. Hey, Tammy. You guys, are you still on your cruise? Kelly and Tammy's Journey, I think the name. Yeah, Kelly and Tammy's Journey. Are you all still on your cruise? Because I just been seeing video. Are you all back yet from the Valor? You guys were on the Valor. Grand Central's amazing, but we do really miss the atrium feel. When you walk onto the Mardi Gras, you basically walk into a wall. Huh. Okay. Doesn't have that same feeling. Well, that's interesting. All right. The main central area does the game show and live shows. Celestial Strings. Love Celestial Strings. That show won us over on the Carnival Horizon.
Totally.
We absolutely loved it. And we went to see Celestial Strings when we came back from the pandemic, and they were just getting restarted. And it was a little, I mean, I shouldn't say disappointing because it should be expected, but they had all the little side stages out in the audience, before the pandemic. And then, obviously because of COVID and everything else, they moved everything up on the stage. And we would always get seats where we were right in the middle of like two of those side stages, or right next to one. The first couple times we saw Celestial Strings, and the number of dancers and singers and the trio of violinists going by us and just playing right in front of us. It was sensory overload. It really was, because you had stuff going on here, you had stuff going up on the main stage, and you're just like looking around, listening to the music. And I mean, the costumes are beautiful, everything else like that. Just Celestial Strings, probably gonna be our favorite show of all time. But I heard on Mardi Gras, The Greatest Showman, is that everything, and everything, and Twice on Sunday. I'm curious on that one because I heard that Greatest Showman was really good. And Lee Mason, I don't know who's coming on after Lee Mason, but I have Lee Mason for the June 25th, and that's his last week on the Mardi Gras. And then I'm guessing Chris Williams will be back, the Flying Scotsman. Eden Parker at the Piano Bar is hilarious. Okay. Yeah, we haven't done much of the Piano Bar lately. Part of the reason we don't do the Piano Bar as much is because it's always so packed. You can never go in there and get a seat. Tammy, okay, you got home yesterday, downloading pictures on the computer. Okay. The spa's on deck 4 and 5, so weird, just a few windows. And then Sean Murphy, thanks for that about the spa. One thing about the spa is I heard that it's too small, and then it's really hard to get in like the hot tub, or all the chairs are taken and everything else like that. So I don't know if you bought the package, but if you did, then I'm curious about that, because the spa looks nice, but it might be too small for the number of people on the ship. All right, I'm trying to catch up with the chat here. That's why I like Royal Caribbean. Okay. Main promenade feels so open. All right, Kathy, you had Lee Mason. Okay, with the Love and Marriage. All right. Yeah, and Kathy, Lee Mason has actually corresponded with me and one of the videos that I did. And I'll tell you what, I've always been impressed by Kendall and her doing that little bit extra, Kendall Fire that I'm talking about. But Lee, he might do even more. I mean, I see him so active on Facebook, and then he's responding to videos of mine. And I can admit that I'm not big time like, a lot of these, video people. I mean, I think Derek on Island Time is going to be pretty big time here, not before too long. He already, like I said, it's pushing 10,000 in the first year. So, Derek, gotta love Lee. Yeah. So, yeah, I've been very impressed by him. I really have, just his work ethic and getting after it and everything. Sean, you had a spa room on deck 11. Okay. Huh. That's cool. So you have a special elevator just to get down to that spa room. That's cool. All right, cool. All right, now I wanted to go to the Carnival Dream briefly, and actually the Dream class ships. I'm curious, because most of us here are avid cruisers, and we've been on multiple Carnival ships, multiple ships in general. I definitely, and I know Derek mentions this all the time, how he's got to start getting out on Royal and Norwegian more and everything. But it is hard when they give you such great deals, and you're going to go somewhere else and pay 2 or 3 times as much just to go to a different line, when you can stay with a line that you get your loyalty rewards and everything else like that, and then you're going to pay more on top of it to go to another line. So I am looking forward to going to more to different lines. And Anita and I have been on different lines, but we definitely have been cruising Carnival almost strictly for the past, I would say, 4 years or so. And prior to that, we had been on Norwegian, we'd been on Celebrity. I think we were on Princess once, and we had plans on doing Princess again. Okay, so going to the Dream. So the reason I bring the Dream up is because we have Derek and Amanda from Island Time, and we have Mike and Michelle and Charles and Rachel. They are all going. I know this because, well, I mean, they've talked about it, but I talked about, saying, hey, come on with us or whatever. And I'm still working. We still have school going on up here in Chicago. We don't get out until June 16th. It's crazy. So I'm so jealous of them going to be on that Dream. But the thing I really like about the Dream and the Dream class ships is the spa. Since we were talking about the spa, yes, Sean, about the casino pricing, absolutely. That Thalassalopoly, and I mentioned this in my most recent video, am I pronouncing that right? That the Thalassalopoly Whirlpool is, I love that. I buy the spa package just for that thing. I really do. I mean, that's how much I enjoy that Thalassalopoly. And those scented steam rooms and things like that on the Dream class ships, and the saunas and stuff. I just feel like the Cloud9 spa, they did it right on the older ships, the Dream class ships, and the newer ships like the Vista, the Horizon. I mean, they're nice, but they're too small for the ship. And it looks like the Mardi Gras, from what people are telling me and what I've seen, is that it's too crowded. And okay. Oh, Amanda's birthday while you guys are on the ship. Oh, yeah, that's going to be great. Absolutely. June 11th. And you know what? Crazy, Derek, because Amanda and Anita, they're very close to one another. Anita's birthday is on 6/13. So they're only 2 days apart from one another. So that's cool. So, yeah, it'll be Anita's birthday here in 2 weeks. And it's less than 2 weeks for Amanda, so very cool. All right, yeah, Steve. So you're part of that big party too on the Dream. Very cool. Steve, aren't you also going on the July 23rd cruise that we're doing? That one I am making with Derek and Charles and Mike and Michelle and Rachel and everybody. Well, thank you. And Anita, I don't know where. I think she might be letting the dog out or something right now. But the lasso therapy. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, cool. Yeah, Steve. So yeah, anybody else that's on here, and I don't know if we have any cruise team people that don't cross over to the Island Time channel, but if you haven't checked out Derek at Island Time, every Sunday you'll see me there almost exclusively. It's a very enjoyable show, his live on Sundays. But we're getting together on July 23rd, and we're hosting a bar crawl on the Carnival Horizon. So if anybody's looking for a cruise out there, you're like, hey, I want to do a cruise in July. I'm looking at this one, I'm looking at that one, whatever else like that. See what kind of rate you can get for that July 23rd Horizon cruise, because that is going to be a party. We are going to have some serious fun there. The crew of 6, well, Steve's on there too, so 7, and then whoever else is going on the Dream this week that I'm jealous of. You dodged me this time, but you will not dodge me on the 23rd. I will be there with bells on and looking forward to it. And I've got a couple cruises before that, which I'm looking forward to almost as much, because I haven't been on the Mardi Gras. So Michelle, it will be our family reunion cruise. Yep, absolutely. Yep. All right. So, so the most recent video that I did a top 5 ships. And my top 5, and because we were just talking about the Dream, but in the top 5, Donkey. You know what, Andrew? I've had the Donkey, and you know what? Maybe it was just a, whatever cruise, or he didn't have his A game or whatever. But I've had him a couple times, and I haven't been quite as impressed. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope, like I said, I see him this time and just think he's awesome or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm a big Kindle Fire fan. From what I've seen of Lee Mason, I think he's great. Yeah, I hope Donkey rises to the occasion there. I've heard a lot about Dr. E and Cookie as far as cruise directors go. I haven't had Cookie yet, but I hear really good things about him. So I'm looking forward to doing a cruise with him as well. Like I said, this Lee Mason one is going to be good. I won Island Time merchandise. I didn't know that. Is that can oh yeah, Derek's saying yes he did. All right. You know what? Well, I can tell you what we're gonna do with that Island Time merchandise. If it's a shirt, we don't have a shirt for Anita yet. I got my Island Time shirt, so if that's part of the deal, then it will be a shirt. So cool. All right, and that's another cool thing that Derek does is he does. It's trivia. Oh no, that's what it is. So super chats. You can't even do that on mine yet because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. But for his thing, anybody that donates a super chat or anything like that is entered into a drawing for merchandise. And so I always do a couple little super chats each week or whatever because support and appreciate everything Derek does, especially the help that he gives me. And then he does a random drawing on his show the following day. I obviously didn't see the show today yet, at least. And apparently my name was drawn. So awesome. So we will get Anita an Island Time shirt so we can both be in our Island Time gear when we are cruising. All right, so very cool. Okay, so so my most recent video, top 5 ships. Now, I wonder what it is for all of you, because, and you can kind of get a hint at this because, so the Vista I mentioned is my number 1 overall. So number 5, I had Carnival Splendor and Carnival Sunshine. And Carnival Sunshine was kind of about the amenity, right? I enjoyed the ship, the layout, everything else like that, but I really enjoyed the Serenity deck because the Serenity deck had an actual pool in it, which most of the Carnival, their older ships don't have pools. They have hot tubs, right? But they don't have pools. This one has a pool, and the adults were thoroughly taking advantage of that. Hey, Kevin, I'm going on 2 cruises. So, oh, you're gonna just miss on the Mardi Gras. We are, July 14th. Yeah, you're gonna miss us by about a month. Oh wait, no, hold on a second. 7/14 on the Mardi Gras. Is he sure it's not like 7/16? Because I think we're getting off on 7/9. Oh, okay. Thank you, Michelle. So yeah, and I'm glad Michelle mentioned that. She says, I've got 9/18, so let's get some more people to subscribe. Yeah, if you're not already a subscriber, I would appreciate very much. I saw Charles up there, so close to 1,000. Absolutely, thank you. Funnelheads. Okay, and Derek, I saw your thing about the designs up there. I'm catching up on the chat here. I was busy rambling on, and I missed out on a lot of the chat. So let me catch up here. Yeah, again, thank you for the 1,000. Yeah, we are very close. And again, I don't know if Funnelheads is still on here, but if you could support his channel as well. And we had Kelly and Tammy on here. They have a channel. Z Show was on here earlier. I don't know if he's still on there, but yeah, we would support all the creators. But yeah, Funnelheads is even closer than I am. I think he's at about 9. I think he's only about 25 or 30 away, and obviously I'm over 900 now. So in April before my April spring break cruise, we were at about 600, and now we're at 920, less than 2 months later. So it's definitely picked up. Kevin, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. Comment. Okay, yeah. And Sean, I did see that. You like the smaller ships. Splendor was your favorite. Okay. So yeah, getting back to my top 5 videos, I picked coming in at number 5 a tie between the Splendor and the Sunshine. And the Sunshine, as I was mentioning, thank you, Tony. Oh, at Funnelheads. Very cool. Very cool. So thanks for subscribing to Funnelheads there. And he's getting close. He's getting super close. Oh wow, is it 924? We're at now, Charles? Wow. Okay. So this jumped up 6 just in this video. Very cool. And so the Carnival Splendor, and we're talking about cruise family and everything. And the 6 people that I talked about that I'll be cruising with in July, we all met last summer on the Vista, right? So number 5, and I'm getting ahead of myself again, but Carnival Splendor, I took my sister on that to celebrate her 50th birthday. And I wonder if she's on here. Wendy, are you on here? If you are, you're in the chat here. Last time she said she had a workout class, and she got back for the last 15 minutes. But my sister and I were on that, and we met this wonderful couple, Mark and Laura, and they tried to watch me last week, and I screwed up the link and everything else like that. So if they're on here, say hi, Mark and Laura. But anyway, they have been awesome. I would say that's like the first cruise family we had. The people that you meet on the cruise that you didn't know in any way, shape, or form prior to getting on the cruise, and then all of a sudden you become friends, and then you become more than friends. And then when you're in their area of the country or whatever else like that, you're getting together, you're having dinner, you're making plans to go on other cruises with one another, things like that. So we have stayed in contact with Mark and Laura, and we always hook up with them. As a matter of fact, the last cruise we were on, it was Mark's birthday. And so Laura had told me, hey, you guys are going to be in New Orleans the same weekend. We're going to celebrate Mark's birthday down there. So let's hook up. And we did. And that was a lot of fun. You might have seen that on one of the videos. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate that. And yes, thank you, Michelle, for the like and the subscribe. And so, yeah, I mean, just that cruise family that you meet, and friends, and just having so much fun with people. And even the people that you might not, know for the rest of your life or whatever. There's so many people that I've met out since starting this channel that we just have a lot of fun, and we talk, and maybe we message, or they're on the Coach Cruise Facebook page, and we're just remembering, funny moments on the cruise that we had together, things like that. I know, the Valor cruise, I think it was, the Charlie's Angels, joking around with them and stuff. They're great. And James, I've mentioned before, just so many people that you connect that strong bond with, right? So the Dream was more, again, the Thalassalopoly pool. I like the layout of the Dream. And those of you that have been on the Dream, are you for where the Alchemy Bar is, or against where the Alchemy Bar is on the Dream? I'm curious about that. Do you like being that close to the live music, or do you prefer it would be a little further away? Because I found the live music sometimes to be a little too loud. And when you were at the Alchemy Bar, for those of you that have been on the Dream, I'm curious if anybody has any thoughts on that while I'm catching up on comments. Sean. Okay, Carnival Freedom was the most fun you ever had. Why was that, Sean? Love the ship. Also the most fun. And I was looking at the ships that I've been on. Surprisingly, we've been on the Freedom 4 times. Steve, my wife just subscribed as well. Thank you so much, and thank your wife for me. Tim, Vista's your favorite. Okay. And actually, if you saw my video, which I think you did, Tim, I think you commented actually, and I remember that is my number one, which I'll get to in a second. Friends that turn into family. Okay. And that's what, Michelle, you had mentioned that earlier, and I kind of, Kevin, I want to do Vista or Horizon. Yeah, well, Kevin, I tell you what, I said it earlier. I mean, check your schedule, see if you can squeeze July 23rd in there, because that is going to, the Islanders and the Coach Cruisers, we are going to, put the Horizon back in the dry dock for after we get done with it that week. Shirt idea. Yeah, Lido Tito, right. I saw on Facebook or somewhere they had a Tito's jersey. Have you seen that, Lido? Okay. All right, so I think I'm caught up on chat with everybody. So where was I? I had left off with the Dream, and nobody really said anything about Alchemy and whether they cared where it was or not. But yeah, the Alchemy bar in the Dream is kind of like right up against one of these side stages that they have, and it just seemed like it was a little bit too loud for me. Now, I've been on the Carnival Breeze, and I know several of you have been on the Carnival Breeze, and I like where the Alchemy bar is on there, because it's like over here to the left, but then over on this side you have like the Ocean Plaza. So the Ocean Plaza is right there. You can hear the music and everything, but it's not so loud that it interferes with your enjoyment of the Alchemy bar. So you get the music, and you get to enjoy the Alchemy bar as well. So I really like how that's laid out. All right, so where are we at? Number 3. Okay, so Carnival Valor and Carnival Glory. So like the Vista class ships, Horizon, Panorama, and the Vista, of course, the Valor and the Glory, which both go out of New Orleans, are sister ships. And not for the amenities, obviously, because the Valor and the Glory are older ships, although they do have some really interesting decor, and a lot of people are fond of those older theaters, and I gotta admit, I liked it as well. But it comes down to what Lido and Michelle were talking about that family. Okay, I mean, we just met so many wonderful people on the cruise, and again, I got to credit to starting this channel. I think by starting this channel, it's allowed us to meet so many more people that we wouldn't have otherwise probably met, or met many more than we probably would have met, and just has led us to having so much more fun on the cruise. And then, like I said, developing some of those friendships and some of that cruise family that we're all talking about. That, and the Glory and the Valor for us. The Valor for us was in February for 9 days, 5 days one part, and 4 days the other part. We did a back-to-back on the Valor, and then spring break, the Glory. So we went out of New Orleans both times. Really enjoyed New Orleans. I know that's Lido, Tito, and Michelle's turf down there. But the food down there, everything else like that, the seafood is just phenomenal. The oysters, the po' boy sandwiches. Big fan of po' boy sandwiches. Those are really underrated, I think. Beignets. I got scolded a few times in one of my early videos. I wasn't quite sure of the pronunciation, so it's kind of spelled like beignet. So I said beignet, and I got a few people, rightfully so, scolding me for not calling them beignets. But those are excellent. So just really like the whole New Orleans thing. But I do take the advice of people, that say, hey, look, New Orleans is great, but at nighttime, watch yourself, which I agree with that too. So let me catch up on chat here. Sean Murphy on the Freedom, you won the twerking contest. Oh, that must have been awesome. Wait, do you got some video of that, Sean, that you could share on the Coach Cruise page? would appreciate that on the Coach Cruise Facebook page. That would be great. The Breeze has dance cages in the disco. Hilarious. I don't remember those. I guess I don't know why I don't remember those. Once we do the celebration and Jubilee, there will be a wrap for the XL. Oh, yeah. Yeah, true. No video, no proof. Very true. Dislike the video that I deleted of me cursing when I thought I had screwed up the live for this week also. Well, I did I screwed up the original link, but we went on time, so that part is good. Big Nance Houston. Oh, Sean. Okay. Hey, Sean, let's see him. Let's see those pics on Coach Cruise Facebook page. I want to see them. 7/23, the Horizon. We get back on. Oh, you get back on the 23rd. Okay. Well, let's see. In Orlando. You know what? Orlando and Miami aren't too far away from one another. You know, you could get back and then like get right over the port and, you know, jump right on the ship, Kevin. So let's see. Yeah, you know what, Mike? For sure. For sure. And I wish it would have worked out when we went this most recent time because we had to stay in Houston. We stayed in Houston a night and took a short flight the next day. We actually were going to get there 2 days early. And, you know, I think I talked with you about this before. I don't know what was going on in New Orleans, but the cheapest hotel you could get, you know, 3 or 4 days beforehand was like $300. And that was for like a 2-star hotel. So we went to Houston, stayed in a nice hotel for like $100. And then we found that haunted hotel, which was okay. It was decent in New Orleans for, I think, a couple $100, you know, and we only stayed the one night, but we got there early. Can anyone explain the Carnival Festival, the Tropical for name? Yeah, I have no idea on that, Andrew. Funnelheads is Andrew, by the way, if people don't know. Kevin. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Lido, did you see that from Kevin? If you can hook him up with the restaurant. I'll withhold the one I went to that was pretty good because the second time was just kind of average because they were out of like everything that I wanted to order. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, it's my email is B as in boy. Well, let me see if I can type it on here real quick. If anybody ever needs to email me. Hopefully I don't get a whole bunch of spam. I know Derek just did his live a couple days ago and he got spammed. And I've been fearful of that happening. And I know it will eventually, but that is so annoying. You know, that spam, and I don't know how you avoid it or get away from it or whatever, but yeah. Oh, wow, look, we are finally winding down here. Oh, so let me finish that list real quick. So I had the Valor and the Glory, and like I said, just great people, new cruise family, everything else like that. And then that moved us on to the Horizon. Okay, Horizon came in at number 2 of my favorite ships. And a big part of that, you know, the amenities, I mean, it is a newer ship, a nicer ship, everything else like that. That's the newest ship I've been on. I mean, I know the Panorama came out, and of course the Mardi Gras, which I'll be going on in about 3 weeks. I haven't been on the Panorama. We're scheduled and canceled because of COVID and haven't rescheduled that one yet. But the Celestial Strings. Celestial Strings, we saw, like we already talked about it, just blown away by it. The Horizon is a nice ship in itself. They added the teppanyaki bar. We love Gigi's. We love this steakhouse. We go on a steakhouse every time. You know, that was one thing. The really small ships, not all of them had steakhouses, and I know they've gotten rid of a couple of those ships. So I don't even know if there's still a ship with Carnival that doesn't have a steakhouse. But I went on one of those one time. I was totally bummed that they didn't have a steakhouse. So yeah, the Horizon, the Celestial Strings, and a couple other reasons, but Vintage Pop, another really good show, and Soulbound on Carnival Horizon. Those playlist productions are really good. I don't know how many of you have seen those or agree with me, but we really enjoyed those shows. And also, speaking of vintage pop, and we're going to do this. We're cruising together December 29th, and those out there that are looking for group cruises or whatever, Island Time, I know Mike, Michelle, Charles, Rachel, myself, Mark, and Laura, as it turns out, were booked on that cruise, and we found that out in New Orleans. And, there might be a couple more of you on the December 29th breeze, but we're doing a 20s theme. And what Anita and I did, it just coincided, but we found out that vintage pop on the Carnival Horizon was, at least the time we went, was on a formal night. So vintage pop, they dress up in the old clothing and everything else like that. And so we put our 20s attire on and wore that to the vintage pop show, and it was also for formal night. And so many people liked it and everything. So that's going to be, a theme. Yes, we will. And Derek had just mentioned, or Amanda, I don't know who's behind the controls of Island Time tonight, but we will definitely bring in the new year in the right way. Yeah, we're going to be looking sharp. Everybody's going to be dressed up in their 1920s, roaring 20s attire. That's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, July 23rd, Islanders and cruise team, we're going to get it going on the Horizon, and then again December 29th on the Carnival Breeze. So if anybody out there is looking for cruises, those would be some great ones to do. And then finally, my top number one overall favorite cruise ship. I haven't been on the Mardi Gras yet, so I don't know where that's going to fall in the rankings, but the Vista. And the reason for the Vista, I put down, aside from the ship being a newer ship, and the IMAX and the Skyrad, all that other stuff that comes along with the new ship. Anita and I, our first cruise, our first time ever being to Europe, and we haven't been back since. But our first time being to Europe, we flew to Athens, Greece, and boarded the Carnival Vista when it was brand new, like a month old. And we did a Mediterranean cruise out there. It was amazing. I mean, some of the most memorable things ever, right? I mean, there's so much history in Europe, but we enjoyed the Mediterranean cruise out there, and that was great. But then aside from that, just last year, I'd mentioned James earlier, but then on that same cruise, now I knew Derek because I was one of the first, and I'm proud of this. And that's why I tell people that, haven't subscribed yet, get in on the ground floor before we hit 1,000 and say, hey, I was here before you even hit 1,000. So those of you that have, appreciate that. But yeah, with Derek, I think he was like 200-300 people when I first subscribed him. And look at what he's doing now on Island Time, and him and Amanda and everything. So yeah, that was great. And he gave me a lot of good advice when we first met. And on that same cruise, that very same cruise, I met, Charles and Rachel, Mike and Michelle, and we all kind of hung out and, had a few drinks together, had a lot of fun together. And James, who, I don't know if he ended up getting together with us or not, but we just had a ton of fun there. And Lido, Tito.
Oh, Island Time. I have lots of drinking coupons I'd love to give to you. But no, we don't have free alcoholic beverages.
Oh, on the Southwest?
Yeah. So
Well,
if you're going to drink an adult beverage,
yeah.
you got to pay for it.
Hey,
But everything else is free.
Remind us next time we see you, though, because she does occasionally have a few drink coupons she might be able to spare and give you. So we might be able to help you out there.
And yes,
Definitely
this is
gonna
Tito's.
cruise. Oh, Kevin, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And Island Time, yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have fun and perfect. Oh, you wouldn't have to pay, Derek. She doesn't pay.
Overnight the coupons.
All right. Okay. So I think that's it. I mean, we actually went over a little bit. So, I'm in much better spirits. Some of you may be able to tell because, well, we went on at 7:00, even though, like I said, we haven't gotten it right officially yet because I screwed up the original link, but we at least went on time. And for the 3 or 4 of you that saw me curse out of frustration live, because I didn't know I was live, obviously. You know, I hope you got a good laugh out of that and you weren't offended or anything. But we will let you go. And thank you so much for coming, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. I had a lot of fun talking movies, talking cruising, and we will do it again. And the Islanders, they're going on that dream cruise. I'm jealous, but I want you to all have an amazing time, and I will be following you and everything you're doing on that, and looking forward to seeing a bunch of video and a bunch of great talk about that. So thanks, everybody, and myself, Anita, you want to say goodbye to everybody? And we will see you all later, and thanks so much.